Hi guys, so my author is Natasha Preston, and I read a lot of her books kind of when I was in early middle school, 6th, 7th grade, but they are still really interesting to read. They're kind of like murder mysteries, romance. She is world of young adult thrillers. If you love stories full of suspense, mystery, jaw-dropping plot twist, then she is a good author to read. She's a British author who started out writing Wattpad, which is a free online storytelling platform. What's so cool about that is that she didn't have a publisher or any fancy writing degree. She just started writing in her free time on her own. The book The Cellar was one of her earliest hits on this platform, and it went viral quickly. I think this was the first book I actually read of hers, and I loved it. It was actually really good. I think I've read it a couple times, and the first time I read it, I finished it in just a few days. The book eventually picked up by Source Books, which is a traditional publisher, and it launched her career. Since then, Preston has wrote more than a dozen books, most of them in the young adult mystery and thriller genre. Some of them, her most popular titles include The Cellar, The Cabin, The Twin, The Lake, The Fear, and The Island. Each of her books will get you to want to keep reading and reading and reading. They usually center around teenagers and life or death situations, small towns hiding big secrets, and endings that will completely blindside you. What makes Natasha Preston stand out is her ability to create realistic teen characters that really feel like people that you may actually know, friends, classmates, siblings. She doesn't just shy away from dark themes either. She tells stories that often deal with topics like trauma, trust, survival, grief, and betrayal. But she also balances those heavier themes with a quick pacing, snappy dialogue, and lots of suspense that builds up throughout the chapters. Every chapter also ends in a mini cliffhanger, which makes you want to keep reading on to the next chapter, which is why it makes it so hard to put the book down. The Cellar in particular, though, is about a 16-year-old girl named Summer who is kidnapped and held in the basement and with 3 other girls. And the man called them his little family, and the author just dives into the psychology of the both of the victims and the villain. So it's very intense, it's very emotional, and it really gets you wondering, how are they going to escape? How are these people not finding them? Because it talks about her family and how her family is kind of looking for them too. But there are thrillers, but they are also graphic, which makes them they're not super graphic, which makes them easy for middle schoolers and high schoolers to read. She also focuses on the psychological suspense and emotional twists more so than on just the violence. That's one reason she's become such a go-to author in classrooms and libraries. Her books hook fast, and they are good to hold on to. So survival stories, serial killers, creepy islands are just books that keep you reading late at night, or for me, it's always sitting there on the lake or on the beach to help me fall asleep. Then this is definitely a good author for you to keep going for just one more chapter. Natasha Preston has a great story to tell with her author story of how she became an author. But I would definitely recommend starting with The Cellar or The Island, as those are one of her bestseller books.